Welcome to the Becks, a podcast that explores multimedia horror with hosts Becky and Sydney. Join us as we talk about movies, books, video games, music, and much, much more.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks. This week, we're talking about Secret Window.
With Johnny Depp. And John Turturro, too. But
I loved John Turturro in this movie.
yeah, no, he was excellent.
So good. I like the actor anyway. Would I ever remember his name? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd be like, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, that's what I always say. But he's so good. He's good in everything, but he's very good.
But this part was so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, Becky, tell the audience about Secret Window.
So it's based on a Stephen King novella, Secret Window, Secret Garden.
Yeah.
I've never read it, so I can't really say how it compares. No idea. I tried to look it up to see if I could read it quickly, because it's not very long, apparently. But I couldn't find it where I could get it last night just to check it out. So it's about this writer who kind of has writer's block. He's going through a divorce. He's living in he and his wife's cabin up in the country, and she's in their main home in the city. And it starts out with him sitting in front of a motel telling himself, well, hearing voices in his head say, don't go in. His own voice in his head saying, don't go in. Leave. Just leave now. Don't do it. Just leave now. So he goes to leave, and then he's like, don't turn around. Well, he does. And he storms into this hotel room. He steals the key, basically, and he storms into this hotel room and catches his wife with another man. And that's kind of how it sets the mood for the movie. And Johnny Depp is the writer.
His name is Mort.
Mort. It's such a bad name because Johnny Depp is so hot. And if that hot guy looked at me and was like, hi, I'm Mort, I'd be like, yeah, we need to change that. What's your middle name? But he's suffering with depression. He's dealing with writer's block. He's in the middle of finalizing his divorce. His wife has moved on, but he has not.
One thing I did like about this movie was how much his ex-wife still seemed to care about him.
Yeah.
Obviously there were times when I was like, girl.
Yeah, I think she remembers who he was before everything started to happen.
For sure.
And so it's really hard sometimes to separate that person that you loved and that was good and was amazing from the person that they grow into or that they change into, which we will get there.
Yeah.
So it starts out pretty quickly. I mean, they delve right into it, you know. Things are happening quickly. It's not like you're sitting there waiting for something to happen.
So I knew going into this, I'd seen it a really long time ago. There's some very iconic shots in this movie that I could picture as soon as you brought it up. And I knew that there was some sort of twist. I don't want to necessarily call it a twist. I thought, when I started watching this movie, that he had actually killed his wife and the man that she was cheating on him with that night in the opening shot, and he was imagining talking to her, and like that's kind of where I was, and that's not the case, but that's kind of, I was like, oh shit, this is all like a hallucination he's having in jail or something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah,
especially because he seems like a total recluse and he doesn't leave his house, and
yeah, he's so socially awkward. He goes to town to buy some beer and stuff, and there's this young, cute girl who's totally hitting on him because he's hot. I mean, and he's this reclusive writer, and they know he's famous. Mm-hmm. And she's totally coming on to him, and he's just so awkward with her. It's just, yeah, he's definitely socially awkward. It's almost painful in that scene. It's like, no, that's Johnny Depp. He's hot. But he's kind of socially awkward, too, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of these really good actors are just fantastically weird, and that's part of what gives them their talent.
I think so, too. And I think dealing with everything they deal with the paparazzi and the press and everything, you've got to kind of be just like, stay away. If you're any kind of halfway human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to... I mean, it doesn't really matter if the person you're talking to is insane and obsessed with you, but you don't want to talk to a fan and be like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Like, you're too nice, and then... Not to say that it's anybody's fault, but then all of a sudden it's like, this person goes home and is like, he was so obsessed with me, he was so nice, he was so flirty, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you almost don't want to be too nice because it could make it worse.
Either way, something's going to backfire.
Yeah. Anyway, he wakes up because of a knock
on his door. It's a pretty intense knock, too. It's like someone's there. They want you to come to the door.
I absolutely thought that it was the cops. I was like, that is a cop knock if I have ever heard a cop knock before.
So he answers the door, and it's this tall, lanky, pale man with this giant black hat and this southern accent from Mississippi. Oh, my God.
It's a really good accent.
He immediately accuses Mort of plagiarizing his story. He's like, where'd you get my story? You stole my story. And he's threatening him. He's telling him, you stole my story. You're going to make it right. And Mort's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know. What story are you talking about? I've never met you. I've never read anything. And he goes on to tell him that he knows that he stole his story, but he can't figure out. He calls him all sorts of names. I wish I knew the line exactly, because he's like, I've tried to figure out how whatever he called him, measly piece of crap. It was something to that effect.
Yeah, it was funny.
From New York, finds his way all the way down to Mississippi and steals my story. How did you do that? And so Mort's like, I didn't do it. And he's acting all offended and angry. And the guy's name is John Shooter. And he hands him his manuscript and he says, here, read my story. You'll figure it out. And Mort's like, huh. And throws it away. But shuts the door. Well, come to find out, Mort has plagiarized. Ooh. Because he ends up in a conversation with his ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, and they start talking, and she's like, Mort, it was just that one time, right? You promised it was just that one time. And he was like, yes, it was just that one time. So he totally plagiarized.
He gets very defensive.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was funny was when Shooter's confronting him about it, he's like, not only did you steal my story, but you fucked up the ending.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny.
Yeah. And then he tells him how it ended. And it's like, oh no. So, yeah.
So Shooter tells him, basically, you better, confess or get proof or whatever, right? Or I'm going to kill you. That's the implication. He doesn't, say it outright. And he also says, don't go to the police.
Yep. This is between me and you. And Mort's like, oh, okay. First thing I'm doing, people, is going to the police. If I didn't do it, this creepy guy's at my house. I'm calling the police. Fuck you.
Well, he does.
Yes,
he does go to the police the next day.
Right to the police.
But only after his dog dies.
Which, technically, his wife calls him, and she's like, she's still his wife. They're not divorced yet. And she's like, is everything okay? I just had one of my feelings, and I know you think they're silly, but I've had this feeling, and I'm calling to check and make sure everything's all right. And he's pissy with her. He's angry. He's hurt. So he's like, oh, yeah, one of your feelings? Oh, how's Teddy, her boyfriend?
I will say I completely was with him a little bit in these instances because it's like, again, you can tell that she still really cares for him and even maybe still loves him. She's not in love with him anymore. Yeah. She left him, whatever. That's dead and gone. But she really cares for him a lot still, which is not something I ever saw reciprocated.
No.
Which I think was definitely on purpose.
He was very cold. He was very...
Which I'm not saying he didn't have a right to be.
No, for sure. She did cheat. She did. She, although says that she was not with Ted until the very end when they had already ended things. But he says, well, you should have told me. We were living in the same house that things had ended. I was oblivious. And she said, that's part of the problem. You were oblivious.
Yeah.
And so I get it, but it is awful hard, too, if you're the one that's blindsided, like supposedly he was, and devastated, like he supposedly was. When your ex keeps calling you to check on you or to give that olive branch, I'm going to be a bitch.
Well,
I don't want
part of
that.
it was he hadn't signed his part of the divorce
Exactly.
papers.
So she was trying to stay nice until he did. But he had the dog, and she was asking if he'd taken the dog to get the cataract surgery and this and that. And he's like, everything's fine. And he shuts her down. He doesn't like to talk to her. I think because it hurts him. Or maybe he just doesn't like her. I don't know.
Poor Chico.
So he opens the door, and his dog is stabbed with a screwdriver.
Yeah. And there's a note attached to it that said basically you have 3 days to come up with proof that you didn't plagiarize it. So he buries his dog, and then he goes to the police, which is like, okay, first of all, I would have called the police that night, which he did not do. Not that I want to hand my dog over to the police as evidence, but kind of it is.
Yeah.
So why would you do that? Well, we know why.
But, we do know why. Yes.
I wasn't following the logic at all. And the other thing, too, was like, oh, yeah, I mean, he's upset about his doggy. Poor Chico.
Yeah, this part really bothers me. And I didn't warn Sydney about it, so she was mad at me.
Which was so disrespectful. So the sheriff doesn't really seem to take him very seriously.
No, it blows him off. Yeah. Which that would piss me off. If it was my dog and I came to you and I said, someone's doing this. But I think already they were thinking he was weird.
Well, the worst part for me was when the sheriff was like, I don't think it's against the law. Dude, I would have hauled that man's ass over his desk. I would have been like, bitch.
Yeah, it's not like the dog was on somebody else's property. The dog was on his front porch, dead. So it's hello. Someone came on my property and slaughtered my dog. There's a fucking problem.
After someone threatened me.
Yep.
So, bitch, you better take it seriously.
Yep.
I was fuming. And he wasn't impressed with the sheriff either, to be fair.
No, he wasn't.
That's why he goes to his bodyguard, private investigator.
It was a private investigator, Ken Karsh. He had driven to his house before that. He was going to his house to get something, and he saw Ted and Amy there, his ex-wife, and that set him off. So he decided to go hire a private investigator, figure out what was going on. So he hired private investigator Ken Karsh, who was paid to stake out the cabin, and went to talk to people to see if he could find out some information. So he talks to Tom Greenleaf, who just happened to be driving by when Mort was standing down in like a little gully by the road talking to Shooter. And Tom waves to him, and Shooter nods his hat and keeps talking to Mort about how he needs to.
Which, when it first happened, I was like, oh shit, Shooter has accomplices. I didn't think that it was just like
just a random person that lived there. Yeah.
I thought it was like kind of sending a message to Mort, like, I'm not alone here.
Yeah. And I think that's what Mort thought too, because when Shooter went to get his cigarettes out of the car, what did he say to him? Calm your waterworks or something like that?
It was like, don't. I mean, the implication was don't wet your pants.
Yeah. The line was so good.
It's like, don't loose your water or something like that. I can't remember. It was very much like one of those weird southern idioms that they use that are kind of, like, they make sense, but they're kind of nonsensical at the same time.
Yeah.
It was funny. Especially because Mort's scared, and it's fair that he is, but also when he reacted the way he did, I'm like, dude, stop being such a little bitch.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. So in this conversation, he asked him when his story was published, and he gave him a date. Was it like 1998?
1990? Yeah, he said 1997, and then it was 1994 that the magazine came out. So
yeah.
Boom, baby.
So Mort's like, so I published it first. It's my story. You're the one that's plagiarizing. And he's like, well, you've got, a certain amount of time to get me. And he's like, well, my wife can bring it to me from the city. And he's like, well, then you better call her and have her bring it to you. But then his house burns down. Mort and Amy's house burns to the ground. Presumably, Shooter set it on fire to stop Mort from getting the proof that he is the one that actually wrote the story.
Yes.
So here's another whole twist. Every time he's, going to prove himself, something happens. And so the police are asking, do you guys have any enemies? And of course, Ted and Amy are like, no. And Mort gets really pissed off and tells Ted to go away because he's answering every question like it's his house.
Fucking valid, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking hate Ted.
Yeah, no.
That dude was a douchebag.
He kept inserting himself into everything, and that literally was Mort and Amy's house, not Ted's.
Yeah, and even when they were going over, like, claiming assets for insurance purposes and stuff like that, Ted was being real nosy, and they told him to get the fuck out. Like, Mort was really upset. He's like, do you need to fucking be here? Like, none of this is your stuff if you need to be reminded.
Exactly.
And then the lawyers were like, yeah, you have no right to be here. You can leave.
Yeah. So Mort tells the police that, yes, he does have an enemy. John Shooter. This guy that showed up, he's threatening him. He's, trying to blackmail him, whatever. Mort and the private investigator agree to confront Shooter, but first they're going to meet up with Tom Greenleaf at the local diner the next morning to see if he's seen anything, because he told him that Tom had drove by.
Yeah, and when Ken, that's his name?
Uh-huh.
When the PI had gone to speak to Greenleaf by himself, he said he got real nervous and said that he hadn't seen anybody, he was by himself, whatever. Mm-hmm. So they thought that if they kind of approached Tom together, they could get him to tell the truth.
Yep. But when Mort goes to meet them, nobody shows up. Mm-hmm. Ken's not there, Greenleaf's not there. Nobody's there. So he decides to go home. On his way home, here comes Teddy Boy, trying to get him to sign the papers. So then Mort decides that Shooter must be Ted's buddy.
Right, because of somewhere that Ted is from. Ted has kind of he's tiny bit of an accent. It's not correct. Like, it doesn't match up with the Mississippi one. But then Ted said something about, like, Shootersville or something, somewhere he grew up. And Mort's like, I got you, motherfucker. I know this is you. Mm-hmm. And weirdly, Ted kind of seems a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you find out, obviously, it's not about what Mort is implying. Ted's just a douchebag and fucks somebody's wife. So,
Yeah. He should be guilty, but not about knowing Shooter.
Oh, and Ken had also said that he was able to get a hold of Mort's, like, original publisher of the magazine.
That's right.
And that they were, like, overnighting it. So he'd need to be at the post office to pick it up, like, the next day at 3. But first, he goes home, meets up with Shooter.
Again, because Shooter summoned him.
Yeah, and
we need to talk.
Well, when he gets there, Tom Greenleaf's vehicle is there. And Tom is dead, and then Ken is dead in the back seat.
It's so bad, too. It's pretty nasty.
It's pretty gruesome.
It is. You feel really bad for these people, because they're, like, totally innocent in all of this. Like, nobody deserved any of what was happening here.
No. And so Mort gets very freaked out. He almost pukes. He passes out. And
yeah, Shooter tells him that he killed him because they interfered.
Yeah.
And he had told him not to tell anybody, so basically he blamed Mort for all their deaths.
Yeah, and I'll go visit that purty wife of yours if you try to go to the police again.
Uh-huh. And he rambles off the address where she's at, and he knows where she's living, and so then Mort has to get rid of the bodies because...
Well, Shooter said that he had implicated him. It was his screwdriver.
Oh, that's right.
And his hatchet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course it was. So he rolls them into the lake.
Yep.
Rolls the truck. And
almost rolls himself into the lake.
Almost rolls himself into the lake. He's not real good at this hiding bodies thing. Well. that we know of.
Okay, so he runs over to try to get the thingy from the post office, and the sheriff is there.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Mort is freaked out because Shooter just told him, you better not talk to the sheriff again.
And Johnny Depp's acting in this, like, when he's freaking out, like, he's over the top freaking out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's losing it. You know, you can tell he's losing his shit. He's trying to hold it together, but it's very, very sad. Because he's not holding it together.
His performance in this movie is absolutely incredible. It's really good. It actually upsets me that he doesn't do more roles in, like, thriller and horror and stuff like that.
He's just weird enough that he could give so much to so many parts.
Yeah.
And he's hot.
And he is super hot in this movie in
He
particular.
It's a good movie.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Anyway, secret window, though. We gotta tell you how they found the secret window. He's sitting upstairs writing at his desk, and it's right after him and his wife bought the house, and she's like, I'm gonna go to the flea market, and we gotta get rid of some of this stuff, and there's a big dresser. And she moves the dresser, and there's a window. And she's like, oh, look, Mort, it's a window. She goes, a secret window. And she opens it, and she looks down, and she's like, oh, I'm going to put my garden right there. She goes, a secret window and overlooking a secret garden.
Uh-huh.
And so that's how the name comes about. And so she's so excited because she's going to plant her garden right out that window, right upstairs where he's typing. He also has a house cleaner who thinks very highly of him. She thinks he's amazing. She told him that some women just don't know what they've got.
Does he have a housekeeper?
Maybe. Who knows? We don't know.
That just occurred to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Doesn't she not like him at the end?
I don't remember
She was
seeing
at the
her.
end. Maybe she wasn't. I've only watched it 500 times.
Okay.
So anyways, maybe he has a housekeeper, maybe he doesn't. But she tells him how wonderful he is and how some women just don't know what they have when it's right in front of them. Mm-hmm. So she's praising him on how amazing he is, and it's not his fault. It's all his wife's fault.
Yeah. And he kind of mutters to himself that she needs to mind her own business.
Yeah, he's just,
essentially.
He's not a very nice guy. Like, he's not pleasant to anybody. Let's just put it that way. But again, he's dealing with depression and anger and writer's block, so I'm sure that adds to it.
So the sheriff comes up to him in the parking lot of the post office, and he has the package. And the sheriff's demeanor is totally different than before. He's calculating. Mm-hmm. He's suspicious. Mm-hmm. And I think Mort is just, like, freaked out that the sheriff is talking to him because, again, Shooter was like, you do not talk to the police. I think he was so nervous and scared about that he totally missed the fact that the sheriff was kind of suspicious. So he speeds away. As soon as he gets into his driveway, he rips open the package, pulls out the manuscript, and it's missing pages. Pages have been cut out. And he realizes that the package had been opened a little bit. So he's like, oh my god, Shooter, like, took the story. But then a voice in his head goes, how would he have done that? Mm-hmm. And this is when Mort realizes that John Shooter is a figment of his imagination.
Is he a figment of his imagination, or is he part of Mort? Is he another personality that is angry because Mort took credit for what he made?
No, I don't think so. And here's why. I think Mort thinks that, but I don't think it's true. I think it's just a defense mechanism.
Very well could be, for everything that he did,
yeah,
that he had to deal with.
So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it wasn't me. It was John Shooter. Mm-hmm. So you kind of, at this point, you're like, okay, Mort killed his own dog. When he saw his wife in the city with Ted in their old house, he burned it down.
Now the dog really, it was her dog. It was Amy's dog.
Yeah.
He just kept the dog. I'm not sure why. Because he didn't seem to really love the dog much.
He talked to the dog.
He did. I don't know.
I'm mad about
but
it.
anyways, he
So
killed
mad
the
about
dog. He stabbed his own dog.
So then he kills Tom Greenleaf and he kills the PI.
Both very nice men. PI was super nice.
Well, and this is the other thing, too, is with this reveal, everything that's happened, every interaction he's had with all these different people, it really highlights the fact that Mort is an unreliable narrator. And because we are watching the movie from his perspective, everything is cast into doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Every interaction that he's had with anyone.
Mm-hmm. So that's the main twist there, is that you're like, oh, so John Shooter just never existed.
So he definitely spirals into a bad place. Like, he trashes his own house. Amy has one of her bad feelings, is also frustrated that the divorce papers have not been signed.
Mm-hmm.
So she tries calling him, can't reach him, decides to go up there. I'm like, oh, girl, do not. The thing that pissed me off was, like, Ted was going to go with her. And she had a good point. She knew that it would set Mort off. She was right. 100%. However, the fact that he has a history of erraticism, if that's a word, being erratic, and almost shooting both of them in the hotel room, which is not what you see. The shot ends before you see what he does at the motel room, but that's what happened, is he went in there with a gun. He didn't load the gun, but he had a gun, and he wanted to shoot her. Get it?
Shoot her.
Shooter.
And then he had carved shooter all over his cabin. And yeah, it's shooter, 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 shoot her.
Yeah, that's one of the iconic
Uh-huh.
images
Uh-huh.
that I mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah.
So she finds him upstairs. He's like behind a door and he's just standing there and he has the stupid fucking hat on. And she's scared. And she tries to talk him down. It's not successful. He attacks her.
And he's talking to her with the Mississippi accent. He's doing John Shooter's voice.
I'm not gonna lie, I got the ick so bad from that.
I know.
I was
Who
like,
wouldn't? When he opened his mouth and talked like that, I was like, oh, dude, no.
It's not the accent that bothers me. It's like I had secondhand embarrassment that this dude was so deep in his own like psychosis that he was thinking he was some kind of cowboy dude. I couldn't. I was like, it's a really good thing. I mean, I'm sure I would be scared in a situation like that, but
for sure,
as an audience member, I was like, hee hee, like that's embarrassing, dude. And she tries to run away, and it's bad. He stabs her in the leg. I was rooting for her so bad.
Oh, I thought she was going to get away.
Yeah.
I really did. The first time I watched the movie, I'm like, he can't kill her. Again, I'd never read the novella, so I didn't know what happened. Just watched the movie because it was Johnny Depp, and I was like, oh, she's going to get away. I mean, come on. Right. You can't kill his ex-wife, right?
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned. So the story that he wrote, Secret Window, it ended differently than Shooter's version, which at the end of Shooter's version, he killed his wife and gets away with it, okay? And basically he's like, well, I'm probably going to forget about her soon too, because it's, it's just going to be obscurity, whatever. So Shooter wanted him to fix the ending. Obviously, that's all foretelling and foreshadowing for the movie. So, two things is I wonder what the original ending was.
Yeah.
The real one, shall we say. And then versus this new one that, he had unresolved issues about, and he went about resolving them. Well, Ted ends up following Amy.
Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable with her going there by herself.
Again, he went into their motel room with a gun.
Exactly.
So, fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
So he gets there and Mort kills him in front of Amy. She watches the guy she loves die.
Takes off his head with a shovel.
Yeah. Yeah, no mercy there.
And then he kills her?
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't see either of these things actually happen.
No.
It happens off screen.
There's really no gruesome... I mean, like, when he sees his private investigator and that in the truck, it's a pretty bloody, yucky scene, but you don't see any real gore in this movie. It's not like that. It's a lot of suspense. You're wondering what the hell's happening next. And then suddenly you know everything, and then it's just weird. So then it just literally goes to months later. He's all happy-go-lucky.
Didn't he get braces?
He got braces, yes. Because he's like writing now and finishing his story and everything's great.
His lust for life has returned.
Yeah, he goes to town and he tries to flirt with the girl that had flirted with him. Like, he's like, look, braces. I'm straightening out a few things. And everybody in town is completely uncomfortable with him. They know all these people disappeared. And he is the prime suspect. But because they can't find any bodies, he's just living his life.
Yeah. And the sheriff comes to his house. His door's wide open. And he's like, hey, we'll find the bodies, you rotten fucking bastard. And you better not shop in town anymore. Everyone hates it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mort's just like, yeah, man, whatever. And he's just eating corn.
Corn. And
like the story.
Yeah, and you see out the window, there's corn growing where she was going to grow her garden.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the implication, of course, is that the bodies are there.
Yeah. Making the corn wonderful.
Which I just saw, too, that there was an alternative ending that explicitly showed Amy and Ted's bodies shown beneath the corn patch.
Oh.
Because apparently audiences are stupid.
And couldn't deduce that from everything that... He literally was buttering the corn like it was the best thing in the world. And they show it right out the window.
Yeah.
Where she said she was going to... But didn't Shooter's story, didn't he say that his wife died in the story? That
buried her between where the house and the shed meet or something like that? Yeah, where
in the garden that she loved more than him.
Yeah.
So that's the whole implication there, is that he's buried her and her lover, and that's what made the corn so good, is he got his retribution because he got rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty icky.
Yeah.
Not a fun ending.
Not for Amy and Ted. Mort enjoyed it.
So watching this movie, it came out in 2004, I think. This is a good movie, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good... Well, obviously, I love John. It's a good movie. It's a weird movie, but...
Well, this is the thing. I think audiences in general really dislike bad ending. And for a lot of people, they equate bad endings with bad movies.
Yeah, they forget about everything else in the movie that was good and just latch on to that last little bit. Which I understand. It can be a big letdown. You've watched a really good movie and then it just is stupid.
With the context of it being a Stephen King novel, a lot of things make sense to me. Particularly the little tongue-in-cheek, you have to fix the ending. The ending was bad. People hated your ending. Yeah. You can't write an ending. You can't stick the landing, which is what people have said for years about Stephen King himself. So there's that element of fart smellery that tends to just waft from Stephen King works. I'm saying this as a fan of Stephen King stories. You know, I do like his stories. This also obviously shares a lot of similarities to The Shining with Jack Torrance and his writer's block.
Yeah.
And Misery. Because particularly because they reference a fan that had stalked him too.
I wonder if that's all part of Stephen King's life. Like certain things, how he struggled with writer's block or how he lost his mind in different... I mean, because he's freaking weird, right? I mean, he is a weird man. Not just... Anyway, we know this.
Yeah.
We don't know him personally, but he's a weird man, and he writes things that sometimes you're just like, what in the ever-loving fuck just happened in this book?
Yeah.
But is he, like, pushing some of himself into those pages? the
I know,
author
I
just
do-
not doing what he thinks that author should do.
And I do
I don't
wonder
know, man.
how his wife feels about some of his stories, too.
Now, I'm surprised Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie 46%, and then the popcorn meter for normal people like us, 65%, which makes sense. I love it. I love Johnny Depp's portrayal of the character. He's very good at playing just weird, off-the-wall, different characters, and it makes me happy to listen to him and see him. I told Sydney today that, and there's one scene where he's sitting on the couch and he kind of flips his hair, and I'm like, oh, second husband, there you are.
Yeah, I can see why people didn't like this movie. Sometimes with especially when it's there's something supernaturally eerie about Shooter.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see people being disappointed that he wasn't real in the sense that he was a separate entity, and, you know, he's very creepy.
He is so creepy.
And he says these little comments, and you're like, man, he's got eyes everywhere, and
Yep.
he's following him around, and it's just so unsettling. And sometimes he was imagining it the whole time, it can feel cheap.
Yeah.
I don't think it felt cheap in this movie.
No, I think it was really seriously a very, hate to say deranged, a very mentally ill human being that was going through stress that, you know, a lot of people just don't function. And so he acted out and created this personality for himself so he didn't have to take blame for what he actually did. He just made this guy up in his mind, and so, because he couldn't face what he really did, so it's got to be somebody else. So there you go. So definitely a very mentally ill guy. How he got away with it, I don't know. Then he's out skipping around with his braces.
And it's his braces.
His braces. I'm straightening a few things out. That poor girl's like, don't talk to me, please.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah,
So yeah, I get it, how it could seem cheapened, but I really loved Shooter. He was a great character in this.
watching this movie is worth it for the performances of those two actors alone. Turturro and Depp are fantastic in this film. It's really good. So yeah, that's The Secret Window.
Secret Window, Johnny Depp.
She's like, you could kill me anytime, Johnny.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Pin me against the wall and have your way with me.
First, and then if you need to kill me, it's okay. Oh. Yep. He is a fine specimen of...
Sexy.
He's sexy. Yeah. Whew.
I still don't know what my opinion is of him.
I don't know either. I've seen some really good things about him.
Some really bad things are out there, too.
Yeah. But we got to consider where the bad things come from, too. So that's where I don't know. I don't know him personally. I just know he's hot. He doesn't have to be my husband. He can just be a brief encounter.
Just stare at him. Proper name, place name, backstory stuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm too old for him anyways, so.
He's older than you.
He likes them young.
Ugh.
I mean, Amber Heard was, 23 and he was pushing 50?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge age difference between them.
That's icky.
I don't know how you can think that's
20
icky.
years?
Well, let's look. 22 to 23 year age gap, yeah.
That's too much.
51 and 28.
That's too much, I think. Methinks.
Well, obviously. I mean, I guess maybe some people can make it work, but that's, yeah.
Ugh. Well, anyway. We had a great time in the Dominican Republic, you guys.
We did. We didn't post anything. We really need to get better at that. And I apologize for that. We are right now looking at some festivals that we're hoping to go to. The Dominican Republic was so warm. If you get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Buy some Larimar jewelry because
It's beautiful.
it's very pretty.
Swim in the ocean. It's warm and delicious.
Oh, the ocean was the best part.
It was so good. It was so warm. The
Oh.
water was warm.
And we came back to freezing, stupid, cold, 20-degree weather.
Yeah, it was a little depressing.
I think it was like 8 the night we got home, so yeah. Woo. But no, it was fun. I will post pictures. I think we have a couple of us in the Dominican that are of you and I together.
I'm sure. So
I can post a couple so you can see how beautiful it was there.
How beautiful we are while we are in the Dominican Republic.
So yeah, we're going to a couple festivals, I think. We're looking into it right now.
Checking our schedules, making sure we could do it.
If there's
swing it.
A festival or some kind of something that you'd like to see us at, send us the information. Always something that we're willing to look into. Gotta get our faces out there. I keep saying it. I gotta retire. This is my way. Let's go. Let's go, fans. The Becks fans. Anyway.
We know you're out there.
We don't know what we're doing next week, I don't think.
No, we haven't talked about it. We'll figure it out, though. It'll be cool. It'll be so cool.
It's always cool because we're super cool. It's getting hot in here now.
It is, yeah. We're going to wrap this episode up.
Is that what we're going to do?
That's what we're going to do. That's what we're fixing to do right now.
Down here in Mississippi. I can't even say it like he does. Oh my God, you got to watch it just to see how he talks.
Oh, I love
so
John
creepy.
Turturro. He's so good. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Today the pod, tomorrow the world. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks.